how did you walk in versus how did you walk out of last year's event?
Yeah, well, I really didn't have any idea of really what an automotive conference contained. But I think for me, like, my biggest takeaway is how just welcoming everyone was. There was some women, I mean, luckily I had 3 of my peers who came with me, but there was multiple women who just came by themselves. It was inspiring to see how many people were pouring into me and a few of the other younger girls that were there.
You and Dr. Radar and LG Bright are still kind of working out all of the kinks as to what that's going to look like. Part of planning a conference, people, not everything is nailed down 2 months ahead of time. The topic of the panel is driving forward. How does the next generation see the future of automotive? Which is huge. And what do you think, hand in hand with what you've learned in college, is a step we're taking in the future that we may not realize yet?
Yeah, well, I think now you talk about AI.
Which events do you think you're going to kind of try to be tied to every year that they happen?
Yeah, well, Women in Automotive definitely holds a special place in my heart because that was the first ever conference that I attended ever. That conference really changed me.
What's up, fam? Why did I say fam? I don't know. It's Wednesday. We're back on the I'm a Car Chick podcast. You know, it's Shasta Haddock. I am still in conference season. We're promoting the Women in Automotive Conference happening very, very soon. Today's July 9th. It is happening in less than a month, guys. We are finally on the home stretch, August 3rd through 6th in Nashville. If you don't have your tickets, you're missing out. But keep listening because I'm going to give you a discount code at the end that you will not find on my social media or anywhere else. But I have an exclusive interview today. If you've been a longtime listener of the show or have listened for more than a year, you will recognize this guest. She was an attendee at last year's Women in Automotive Conference with Northwood University, where she was attending at the time. She is a recent graduate of Northwood University, and I am so excited to bring her back to you today. Her name is Sydney Rizo. Welcome, Sydney. I'm so glad to have you back.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. We had a chance to meet last year, and I know it had to be a little bit overwhelming. It was your first conference, like first time kind of really getting into the world of automotive while you were a student. But I want to kind of backtrack a little bit before we get to the conference conversation, because you didn't go to college to work in automotive. It was kind of like you developed that part of the way through. So I'd like to talk about that journey a little bit and kind of what led you from your original major, which I'll let you talk about, into automotive.
Yeah, so I actually was recruited for soccer at Northwood. So that's kind of how, like, I heard of Northwood. My cousin had gone to Northwood. So I knew a little bit about the university, but ultimately it was to come and play collegiate soccer. So once I kind of went through like admissions, learned a little bit more, came on campus, I like fell in love with it immediately. I had done like so many different tours for a bunch of colleges in Michigan. And when they say like, when you step on campus, it clicks, like it clicked. So I actually went to Northwood my freshman year for fashion, marketing, and management, which was also at the time like a major at Northwood. So I did that, just wasn't liking it, wasn't for me. So I actually ended up getting involved with the Northwood University International Auto Show, which is a completely student-ran auto show that takes place on Northwood's campus. So from logistics to operations, events, marketing, everything is completely student-ran. So I kind of like dabbled my way into that, was a team member for, I want to say Genesis. So I got a little bit like involvement in that and then loved it. So I ended up switching my major to automotive for a semester. Still was kind of like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, do I want to do automotive? I completely like wasn't sold, and then went to marketing. And then after that, like all these major opportunities like arised, and I was way more involved in auto show. I was meeting these great industry professionals. I was going to these conferences, like going to Women in Automotive last year, and just like fell in love with the people, fell in love with the industry. And then from there, just kind of continue networking and building connections and meeting people, and just got a new job starting in September, going into the industry, and I couldn't be more excited.
That is so exciting. And you got a good job. Like, you ended up in a really good place. If you don't know, she's a manager trainee with Toyota. She's going to be moving to the Baltimore area to work with them directly. How did you kind of make that connection with Toyota? Was it just through connections, like applying randomly online? How did that happen?
Yeah, so it was kind of like, I want to say, like, really the auto show. We would do a lot of interviews. We would meet a lot of these esteemed professionals that would come on campus and just be so impressed. So honestly, talking to them, giving tours, and a lot of times these, like, walking people through the show in the industry, it was just casual conversations. It wasn't nothing about work. It wasn't nothing about jobs. It was just seeing what really these students put on and talking about their experience in the industry. And then a lot of times too, Northwood does career fairs. So a bunch of automotive companies will come onto campus and talk to students. And if you're willing to go, the students will bring their resumes and talk to different companies. And so Toyota actually.
This episode is brought to you by Epic BDC, your number one outsourced BDC solution. Learn more about Epic BDC by checking out the link in the bio.
Had a booth at the career fair, and I ended up just dropping off my resume. And then I got a call that night, and they're like, "Hey, we want to take you out to dinner." So I ended up talking to them. There was actually a student that was also at Northwood who was at the dinner as well, and he did the internship program. So talking to him about his experience and seeing how much he enjoyed it, I was super excited. And then kind of from there, I got connected to the Baltimore region through a mutual connection that he had through an alumni as well. So it was kind of just, honestly, luck of the draw, just kind of networking, connecting. I was really passionate about working for Toyota, so kind of just constantly asking people about their experiences, how they liked it if they worked there, how their internship program was, previous MTs that I knew from Northwood that did that program as well.
You're going to get to be traveling a lot too.
Yeah, so I'll be a field traveler. I'll travel with their MT program. So it kind of varies on how long it could be 8 months, it could be a year. It kind of just depends on each district office and what they need for MTs at the time or need from them. So I'll be, for a part of that program, I'll be shadowing a field travel. So I'll go to all the dealerships, Toyota dealerships in that region, and learn about how to, assist the customer. It could also be, preparing monthly or yearly sale plans. But yeah, kind of running through operations, fixed ops, trends, stuff like that.
That's so exciting and so crazy to do your first year out of college, just jump right in and already be at the level that so many people aspire to. It's awesome. And I'm so happy for you. And Toyota is such a good brand. You said that you were passionate about working for Toyota. What kind of sparked your interest in Toyota in specific?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm a people person. Like, I love meeting people. I love having conversations. I love just hearing their experiences too. And I think that's something that Northwood kind of instilled in me as I went through my 4 years of just how well, like, connecting with people and networking. And I went to the Baltimore region, I want to say it was end of January, to do a few interviews with them. I went through 5 interviews with 2 people in each one. So it was like rapid fire. Like, I was like interview. And all of the people were just so nice. So just genuine. And for me, yes, I did marketing. So at Northwood, I really didn't have like a whole, like, really good knowledge about the automotive industry. I just knew a lot of people in the industry and then doing auto show. So I was just so eager to learn, and knowing how all of those people in the office also wanted to help me learn, which was huge. And I think nowadays, like, you can't really teach being genuine. Like, it's something that is it's just people have it or they don't. So I think for me, like, just seeing how well the office just seemed like a really good team. Like, everyone clicked, everyone wanted the best for each other. And I think having an athletic background and coming from a team and playing college soccer, like that was just something that I really, really, really enjoyed and liked.
Team play helps so much when you're moving, especially in the automotive industry. And we hear it compared a lot to sports, usually football. I don't know why usually football, but usually football is what I hear compared to the most, and how the coaching staff working with the teams a lot like management working with sales teams or service teams. And I think it's just a really interesting analogy. But I want to make sure that we talk about you're going to be possibly moderating, possibly on a panel at Women in Automotive. I know that you and Dr. Radar and LG Bright are still kind of working out all of the kinks as to what that's going to look like. Part of planning a conference, people, not everything is nailed down 2 months ahead of time.
Yes.
But the topic of the panel is driving forward. How does the next generation see the future of automotive, which is huge. And you have a first look at that because you are a part of this next generation. You've just completed your college tenure. You're getting ready to go work directly for Toyota and use all of the things that you just learned. What do you think, hand in hand with what you've learned in college is a step we're taking in the future that we may not realize yet? Did you know that there's a monthly newsletter where you can keep in touch with everything the I'm a Car Chick podcast is up to? There is. Check out the show notes below, and you can also follow us on all social media and stay in tune with whatever we're up to.
Yeah, well, I think now you talk about AI and like the transformation that AI is going to make in a year, in 5 years. So ultimately, going back to Northwood and, having that accountability and that personal responsibility that they, put into the curriculum and put into their students, I think that is going to play a major role, because still you look at, dealerships and you look at customers, like nothing beats like a dealer to a customer, that personal interaction.
Right.
So I think that is something that I think, yes, you have AI and you have, this new generation coming in, but I think still instilling those values of that customer to the dealership, or the, dealership to customer, relationship, I still think is like huge. And, a robot can't make that excel. It's the individuals and the people that do. But I think, back to Northwood and just, going forward, I think every generation's different. And I think something special about this generation is that everyone's so eager to get involved in the industry now. I mean, you have these conferences, I'm very grateful that Northwood has the ability to send all of my peers and myself to NADA, to ASOTOCon, to Women in Automotive. And I think this generation, specifically Northwood, being able to get that firsthand experience, you aren't getting that anywhere else. And I think that's also setting us up for success in the future.
I think so too. And I want to talk about the AI topic a little bit, because something that I feel is kind of an unspoken kind of thing in the automotive industry is a lot of people in the industry don't have college degrees. And the reason I hear a lot for that is because the automotive industry pivots so fast that college curriculums can't keep up. Not my words, just what I hear. And so with that, I'm curious, since you are very recently out of this, you're actually still finishing out your last couple of weeks, even though you've already graduated. What would you say is something that you've learned that is staying with times? Like, did they teach you proper utilization of AI or, customer techniques? And I know you're majored in marketing. What tools did they use that are new, hot, and fresh that you think the automotive industry is maybe just now taking grasp of?
Yeah. I think, going through my MBA course and taking all these courses and looking at process maps and, analyzing, teams and leadership, I think the biggest thing that I've taken out of my MBA is all the different tactics to leadership and how to properly manage a team. I think, you look into, how to manage different people or how to, approach different things or what best suits a company, I think is huge now. And you look like post-COVID. I mean, we're almost 4 or 5 years off of COVID, and even seeing that drastic change in how people, you see now a bunch of shifts of companies going back to, in person, and seeing kind of how different generations are, I guess, handling that situation too. So I think, honestly, something that I really took out of my MBA was, just how to like read and handle different situations, and how, one dealership may need something else than maybe what a different dealership needs. So I think just meeting the needs of customers differently, it varies. And I think that's something.
You brought up something interesting about the in-person feels after COVID. So, not just as a society of how we want to shop, how we want to buy online, but also we want to work. We want to work, from home. A lot of people got sent home to work and never went back to an office building. A lot of businesses never brought people back in house. How in marketing, how important is it to be able to cater to both sets of audiences? So you're looking at the people who want to come in, who want to drive the car, touch it, feel it, smell it. And then you've got the people who would rather do everything over the phone, online. They don't want to come in. And those two different marketing tactics are for completely different audiences, but may apply to the same dealership. Is that something that we've got to start looking at and figuring out a really good plan for?
Oh, for sure. But I think something about this generation, my current generation, is that we've been through school. We went all online. You look at colleges, you look at the first couple years of colleges, you had online courses. Like, you wouldn't even go into the classroom, or you had the option to do either or. So I think our generation being so flexible is also relates to,
This episode is brought to you by SCP Agency, your one-stop shop for organic social media. Check them out by clicking the link in the show notes or visit scpagency.com.
Dealerships, customers who may be online, who may have their business completely in person, who may have it split down the middle. So I think the flexibility that our generation holds to adapt to anything, I think is a very powerful tool that maybe other generations don't have or can't relate to, especially with technology now. I think our generation is so tech savvy.
Yeah.
Because COVID taught us how to, go online and handle certain situations, but also going in person. So I think that's huge, being able to communicate with, customers and people online versus, in person.
For sure. So as you evolve into your new role with Toyota and, finish out school, you're going to be moving pretty far. What would you say is your future as far as attending conferences, being out there with events? Are there certain events that you want to try to attend every year or try to be a part of every year? Like we talked about with Women in Automotive or SodaCon or NADA. Which events do you think you're going to kind of try to be tied to every year that they happen?
Yeah, well, Women in Automotive definitely holds a special place in my heart because that was the first ever conference that I attended ever. And I think that conference really changed me. Like, that just was so eye-opening. I took so many great connections out of that conference and just learned so much. I was very young. I feel like I was so young at the time, even though it was over a year ago. Yeah. But still, seeing that change in just a year and seeing how much that conference helped me. I mean, I met women from that conference that I still talk to this day, and they help mentor me. And I think something really special about Women in Automotive is that they recently did a scholarship program, partnered with Northwood to give out 5 scholarships, which I think is just huge. Like, me personally, like, being able to take so many connections from that conference and being able to talk to women and pick up the phone and be like, hey, what do you think? I need help. What was your experience like during this time? And to have my peers under me have the opportunity to get a scholarship, it's like just amazing. That's something I wish I had coming into Northwood my freshman year, wishing I would have started earlier, getting mentors and meeting people. And I think that the power of just networking is so big. And it's so big. And that's something that I'm so grateful that Northwood has really done for their students, is just constantly sending them to different conferences, Women in Automotive, NADA, to really build their network, but also just connect with people and learn.
Yeah. Networking is huge. I mean, I've said it on the show for so long, your network is your net worth, because, you are the sum of all the people you surround yourself with and the wealth of knowledge that they have. And it's very few and far between that you find someone who's not willing to share or pour into you in some way if you ask them for help. Like, I think I can easily count on one hand and not even fill it up the amount of times I've asked for help and haven't gotten it. Like, this industry is helpful. We're a big family. And I think you might actually be of the speakers I've interviewed so far, I think you might be the first return attendee that was there last year. And so last year's conference was, and I know it was your first one, but last year's conference was huge in the aspect of impact. Like I remember, which is crazy, when you do so many interviews back to back, they tend to blend together. Or you don't forget or you don't remember what was said. I remember so vividly that last year's word that just kept being used was raw. Like it was so raw and vulnerable. The speakers were just willing to be so open with the audience. Like I remember a couple of the sessions, people were walking out in tears, like, which doesn't normally happen. Like even at Women in Automotive events, that's not something I've ever seen in the past. And so I think, when we look at why should women attend this event, is this something, what notions did you have before you went into the conference that you walked out and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't what I expected at all? Or, was it exactly what you expected? How did you walk in versus how did you walk out of last year's event?
Yeah, well, I really didn't have really any idea of really what an automotive conference contained or consisted of. So I really didn't have any expectations. I kind of just went in like, this is my first one. I'm going out west. I'm going to, learn a little bit more about the industry. But
you've made it this far, and I have to say thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to rate the show, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and of course on all social media channels. Light it up.
I think for me, like my biggest takeaway is how just welcoming everyone was. Just, hey, let's come into my workshop. I'm gonna, teach you a little bit more about, fixed ops, just all the little things and how open, because there was some women, luckily I had 3 of my peers who came with me, but there was multiple women who just came by themselves, just wanted to learn, just wanted to connect, just wanted to, grow internally. And I think that was super inspiring for me as well to see, all these women from different organizations coming in and speaking about their careers and their path and how they want to grow better. Because again, that's going to be me in 3, 5, 10 years too. And I think another thing that I took away is it was inspiring to see how many people were pouring into me and a few of the other younger girls that were there. And knowing that, when I'm in their shoes and when I'm 5 years into my career, I want to give back just as much as they gave back to me.
I love that so much. That's such a good answer. And I don't know about you. I'm so psyched for this year. I've seen the speaker lineup, and I've had a chance to actually speak with some of the speakers like you. And it's just getting more and more psyched up. And it's even funnier knowing I'm on the board, I'm on the inside. This should be all work, no play for me. But I'm excited as an attendee to hear these sessions, be a part of this again, and see. It's really hard when you have an event like we had last year to top that, because that was a freaking good one. And I wasn't even on the board then, so I'm not tooting my own horn by any means or tooting anybody's horn. That was such a good conference. Nobody wanted to leave. Everybody wanted to stay. The networking that happened from that and the connections that happened from that were so strong and solid that they're still going to this day. And it's helping more people learn about this conference even this year and having an even bigger turnout this year. So I don't know about you. I'm psyched. I'm so psyched. Yeah. And the fact that you guys, Northwood students, get to hold a panel, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it's me, Bella, Smiley, Brian, and Hannah. So like you said, we're still trying to work out the kinks and everything for the panel, but I'm super excited. All 3 of those girls are so driven, so motivated. It's a few of their first, I think a few of them, it's their first time doing a WIA conference. So I'm so excited for them. I'm like, it's so much fun. You're going to love it. You're going to meet so many people. You're going to network. And these connections too. It's not just, I meet them one time and, follow them on LinkedIn. We'll connect on LinkedIn. No, this is something the people that you meet, the women that you meet at this conference are lifelong connections. It's genuine. They want to help you. You want to help them. It's amazing. It's so fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I hate that it's a month away. I got to keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting.
Right? But it's going to fly by though.
It will. We'll get there and be like, oh my God, it's already the last day. What? And I'll be there for a whole week. I'm going in the 1st and not leaving until the 7th. So, because I'll be part of setting up, building everything, filling all the swag bags, stuff like that. And then there's an event happening the last day that other people are coming in for. And so I'll stick around to be a part of that. And then I'm driving home afterwards. But I'm like, I already don't want to leave when I'm not even there.
And then you do leave and you're like, where did the week go? It flew by.
Seriously. Yeah. But I'm like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see you guys on your panel, and I'm hoping that I get to be there for that. I'm trying to build my schedule out where I'm there, where I get to see all the things I want to see. So I'm really going to try to be there. Audience, if you haven't yet bought your ticket to Women in Automotive, go online, womeninautomotive.com, get your ticket, use code CARCHICK25 for an exclusive discount that can only come from me, because you're welcome. To get your discount to the conference, come see us, be a part of this. It's life-changing, guys. If you don't want to just listen to my words, listen to Sydney, listen to all these other people who talk such amazing things about the conference, and be a part of it. It's awesome.
It really is. It really is. You don't know it until you go there. It truly is life-changing. The impact that it makes on you in your career. It's essential to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you there. Sydney, I'm so excited to see you there. If anybody wants to connect with you ahead of the conference, what's the best way to connect with you?
Honestly, LinkedIn is the best way. It's just Sydney Rizo. You can connect with me on there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I will see you in less than a month, and hopefully we get to hang out and spend a little bit more time together at the event.
Yes. Thank you again for having me. I can't wait.
Audience, we'll see you next time on the I'm a Car Chick podcast.